Hi guys, welcome back to Codecast. So for today's video, I will be reviewing this model. But before we get into this model, I would like to say Happy New Year to all of you guys and wishing you all the best for this year and hoping for more mini scale or more model cars to come in this year. I'm so excited to see could what could they bring to us this year about the 164 scales. So yeah, anyway, I would like to review this model for today. So this is a Zincit model. It is called Zincit, but as you can see, this got a typo on the box, and the model itself is a Singer 911 Coupe or the Singer 911 Classic. And yeah, this is an unlicensed model, obviously, because like you'll notice that the packaging is very plain. It's just a plain black color with no licensing or whatsoever. You only see the brand icon or the brand logo right here, the Zincit model, and crafted in China, and nothing more. Like that's the only writings that they put on the packaging. So yeah, I think that's about it for the packaging. And as you can see, I've already opened the plastic to take a few shots before I review them. So I'm just going to take them off once again to show you guys what the model looks like. So this is what the model looks like outside of the packaging, and let's talk about the base itself first. So the base itself is pretty premium. I could say that you have this white base for the model, which kind of makes it more popped out compared to the black one. And then at the front you could see details of the plate that was used for this model. So I could, like I said earlier, this is a Zincit model, and the model name is a Singer Coupe, or if I'm not mistaken, like the Singer itself, they named this model the Singer 911 Classic on their website. And then we got this star, which I don't know what correlations with the model, and we got the number here, the number 1 of 1999. And I think they just didn't went on to put a individual number for the plate. They just put 001 on every release of this model, so that doesn't mean anything. So yeah, that's about the base. So now let's talk about the model itself. So my first impression about the brand, the Zincit model, to be honest, this is my first purchase of this model. I think this is also their first release. They released this model and also the DLS, the Singer DLS, which I didn't have the chance to buy one. So I just picked this one first, and then maybe I'll buy the DLS one later. So yeah, let's talk about the Singer 911 Coupe or the 911 Classic. Starting off from the front, details, actually it's pretty nice for the price range. Like this one is like 350,000 rupiahs, and I think it was like $20 or $25 in USD. So that is pretty cheap and pretty in the range with the Tamak Works or the Ino 64 and other licensed brand. But my first impression about this model is that the details and the build quality is very resin-like. As you can see from the front, like you could see the outer headlights cover was in this chrome finish, and it doesn't look like a die cast. Like they have these details. It is very resin-like, the finishing, the shiny and other stuff. And the build quality is also very nice. There is, as far as I can see, there is nothing, there's no parts that were kind of like poorly applied to the model. As you can see right here from the headlights, it's very nicely done. And also this secondary lights that kind of represent the blinker lights, is very nicely done too. And then from the front, wait, yeah, the front is pretty nice too. Like you could see the details. Wait, let me try to focus. Okay, and yeah, that is pretty nice. And obviously we have this Porsche logo at the front trunk, which is also a photo etch details, which is pretty nice. And then moving on to the side, the details is pretty well done. Like the finishing is very flawless, I could say. And then, again, this is very resin like, and the wheels itself is pretty nice too for a factory one, even though I think I might just kind of like replace it with a 3D printed resin wheels in the future, but I can still accept that this is a really nice wheels from the factory with the kind of like Fuchs style wheels, the classic Porsche wheels. And the rear is pretty much the same, and then we got the Porsche striping on the side skirt, which is pretty cool. It's pretty sharp too, the tampo. And the side mirrors is a plastic, ABS plastic with this kind of like silver or chrome touches, chrome finish, as well as the what do you say, the outer line for the window and the windshield is also finished in chrome, and it is very nice to see. Like the shininess is very cool. And then moving on to the back, so the Singer is a resto mode Porsche, and this model, the actual car, is based off the 964 models, and it was made to look like the older gen, like the 911 from the 1959 1960s, the classic one. And I think they managed to get the bumper right, as well as the taillights, the small taillights with the center exit exhaust. It's pretty detailed, and you could obviously see the Porsche tampo on the rear engine cover, as well as the Singer. The Singer itself is using a 3D printed or the photo etch one, and I would like to mention the details on the engine cover right here. This is also a photo etch details, and I'm trying to take a good details for this model. Let's see if I can put the details or not. Wait, let me try again. There. So if you look at the details on the engine cover, it has this 4.0 emblem right there, and it is very accurate to the real car, because this emblem, the 4.0, it's also visible on the real car. So I think that is a very nicely done attention for details from Zincit models, and that's the reason that I said that this model is very resin-like in terms of the finishing and the build quality and the details. Like they took care of the details like very carefully. And then what else? The handle is painted in silver, even though it's not a separate part, but it's still cool to see. And the wipers itself is a separate part, a photo etch one. Like you can see, it's not being one part with the windshield, which is pretty nice. And then we got this, I think this one is the fuel cap that was replaced to the center of the car instead of the side, like the fender. For like the classic Porsche, they put the fuel cap at this side. And the interior itself is also pretty nice to see. Like you could see this tan or cream colored interior for the bucket seats and the door trim. And then I think I'm just going to put my photo for the interior to show you like what details they try to put on the inside, which is pretty cool also. Yeah, I think that's about it for this model. So this is a really nice model from Zincit model. I think they just released late last year. They just released this model, the Singer 911 Coupe, and the other one is the Singer 911 DLS. And I think they've done a pretty good job on making this model. Very detailed, very nicely done finishing, and they have a very resin-like build quality. And I highly recommend you to buy this model if you have the money, and if you like Singer models, because this is very worth it for you to buy. So yeah, I think that's about it for this video, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.